Hello everybody, this is your news report, second stimulus check update, and second stimulus package update for Sunday, December 6th. Now folks, Congress has 5 more days to pass a stimulus relief bill and a government spending bill. According to Politico, Pelosi eyes combining stimulus aid with a government spending deal. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said Friday she wants to attach a stimulus relief bill to a $1.4 trillion omnibus spending package that would prevent a government shutdown later this month. The Democrats said Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell agreed with her about combining the annual spending measures with more stimulus relief. According to Business Insider, Pelosi also defends her rejection of the Trump administration's $1.8 trillion stimulus bill. Pelosi said at her press conference it was not a mistake, even though Trump's stimulus bill did include $1,200 stimulus payments. And according to ABC7, optimism is finally building in Washington for a second stimulus bill that would offer relief for businesses, the unemployed, schools, and healthcare providers. Now before we get into the video, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the notifications bell. On this channel, I'll always provide you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information. So be sure to subscribe and click the bell. And let's get this video to 5,000 likes if you think that Congress must pass more stimulus relief.
Because of COVID, many can't pay their bills through no fault of their own. Democrats and Republicans openly admit they need disaster relief, but there's been all talk and no action for 248 days. Today, more talk and no action. Only 31 days remain until major relief measures expire, including unemployment benefits, protections against evicting those who cannot pay their rent. And Moy now. Ilan, what's the latest on the negotiations here?
Well, Shep, there are some rumblings for more relief, but nothing concrete yet. Now, I am told that there is a bipartisan group of about a dozen senators who've been having informal conversations around what they might be able to agree on and what might be able to actually pass alongside a government spending bill, possibly as soon as next week. Now, some of the lawmakers involved in those discussions include Dick Durbin, the number 2 Democrat in the Senate, as well as Republican Rob Portman, who tweeted this today. Congress should not leave D.C. for the holidays until we've passed a bipartisan for healthcare providers and vaccine distribution, for unemployment insurance and flexibility for state and local aid. And there is agreement on all of those issues, but the old roadblocks are still there too. And that is how much money should go to state and local governments and whether certain businesses should get special liability protections.
House Speaker Pelosi said Friday she wants to attach a relief bill to a $1.4 trillion omnibus spending package that would avert a government shutdown later this month, raising the prospects of long-stalled stimulus relief finally being signed into law. Pelosi told reporters that would be a hope because that is the vehicle leaving the station. Pelosi said of attaching pandemic aid to a must-pass fiscal 2021 funding package during her weekly press conference. She also added, "We would want a big, strong vote." Pelosi said the $908 billion proposal released this week by a centrist group of Senate and House members helped restart the stimulus talks, which fell apart just before the election after months of dragging on with little real movement. Pelosi also said there is momentum. There was momentum with the action that the senators and House members in a bipartisan way have taken. The tone of our conversations is one that is indicative of the decision to get the job done. Now folks, tell me what you think in the comments down below. Will Speaker Pelosi, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, be able to unite both parties in passing a second stimulus bill? Will stimulus checks be sent out before the end of the year? Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Politico goes on to say that President-elect Joe Biden on Friday said that he's encouraged by the $908 billion proposal, framing it as the type of bipartisan work that he hopes to foster as president. He also said that any package passed in lame duck session is not going to be enough overall. Government funding runs out in just 1 week, and there are still a sizable number of issues impeding an agreement on a massive spending package that would increase agency budgets for the rest of the fiscal year. The sheer number of outstanding items at such a late stage makes it increasingly likely that congressional negotiators will require a brief stopgap spending bill to complete their work before leaving for the holidays. Such a decision could be made early next week if lawmakers fail to make significant progress over the weekend. Pelosi also added, "We will take the time that we need. Don't worry about a date.
Jobs report is adding new incentive for a deal on hundreds of billions in stimulus spending. Today, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said it could get done by next week, raising hope for millions facing financial hardship. That help could finally be on the way. Here's CBS's chief congressional correspondent, Nancy Cordes.
This is normally peak shopping season, but the new numbers tell a grim story. The retail industry shed another 35,000 jobs last month. Optimism that they can cut a deal fast.
There is momentum.
Compromise is within reach.
Their talks come as a $908 billion bipartisan framework gains traction from both sides. The plan would provide an additional $300 a week for the unemployed, and it would help small businesses and state governments bridge the gap until the economy improves.
How soon do you and Leader McConnell need to cut a deal in order to have a package to vote on before the holidays?
50 applications.
We need that stimulus money to boost us consumers to get out there and start buying. Right now, my Christmas, we're not buying anything this year.
Congressional leaders are hoping to attach whatever deal they come up with to a government spending bill.
My message to our American government is to pass the stimulus bill. Pass more stimulus payments to Americans that need help. The great American people have been through enough trouble and pain. So Congress, please pass the stimulus. If you agree with my message, then leave a comment down below saying, I agree. Speaker Pelosi also defended her rejection of the Trump administration's $1.8 trillion stimulus offer. At a weekly press conference on Friday, House Speaker Pelosi defended her support of a stimulus package half the size of what the Trump administration offered in October. She cited the game changer of Joe Biden's election as the 46th president, as well as the positive vaccine developments in her backing of the $908 billion relief proposal earlier this week. The House Democrat argued her previous insistence for a broad spending package of at least $2.2 trillion was producing results. She told reporters it was not a mistake. It was a decision that has taken us to a place where we can do the right things without other, shall we say, considerations in the legislation that we don't want. I'm very proud of where we are. Everybody tell me in the comments down below, do you think that Speaker Pelosi should have approved Trump's $1.8 trillion stimulus bill, which included stimulus payments and unemployment benefits? Because now with 5 days left until Congress goes on recess, no one knows for sure if Congress will be able to pass more stimulus relief in a government spending bill. Congressional Democrats embraced the framework on Wednesday, saying it should be a starting point in negotiations with Republicans after months of gridlock. Though Mitch McConnell favors a slimmer rescue plan, some GOP senators have lined up behind the compromise proposal. With it being said, folks, that is all the news in regards to your second stimulus check and unemployment benefits. If you found this video useful, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the notifications bell. My message to our American government is to pass more stimulus relief. The great hardworking American people have been through enough pain. The least Congress can do is pass the stimulus.